Always, I have been working with my body, focused and goal-minded. I started competing at the age of 9 years old, and as a very perfectionist and competitive-minded young girl, it also led to several of world champion titles back then at Unicon, the world championship in unicycling. Thank you. Hello out there. My name is Galina. I'm a Danish citizen, and I have a Bulgarian name because my parents, they saved my name. I was born in Yambol, the town in Bulgaria. And at the age of 4 years old, I was adopted to Denmark. I'm here today to speak about how circus has helped me in my life and how I am now helping other people, mainly the kids and youth, to socialize, have joy, learn, and be empowered through circus. I'm here today to tell you how I'm here in Bulgaria to create the first social circus for Bulgaria. I want to share with you how it all started for me. When I arrived to Denmark, my parents brought me to the National Circus, and I was watching this show with an artist on a unicycle. He was balancing meters high of glasses, but the only thing I saw was this one-wheel bike. So I was pulling my parents' hands. This time I was still not speaking the language Danish, and I wanted to go backstage to take a closer hold on this bike. And we went there, and the artists, they saw my enthusiasm. So that's how it started. A few days after, it knocked on our door, and the same artist was standing there to give me my very first bike. I was riding on the countryside, on the dirt roads, up and down on the hills, and it took me 2 weeks to learn how to ride this bike at the age of 4 years old. And I remember when I came back sometimes with bruises, even like here and scars, to my mom and to show her my achievements on this bike. I remember how I said to her, just so you know, I'm a boy. And I reckon how she probably was thinking the same back then. Yeah, sorry, that's just me. I am next. Yeah, I want to tell you about what this unicycle gives me as a feeling, as an empowerment. It gave me this self-confidence in a time where I was feeling challenged by my path of life as an adopted child. In school, it was not so easy for me to sit down and concentrate in a classroom. And I was many times in situations with the cool guys from the class showing them how a girl could beat them up in a game or even a fight. And the unicycle and my physical activities, they gave me this balance that I was able to sit down also in the classroom and study. As a family, we started up the Unicycle club in the neighbor town, and through that club, I became national, European champion, and also known around the world. And circus has always followed me in my life, and when I got the chance to join it, I did. And at the age of 14 years old, I went to the same circus to take my internship from the school there. So I was exploring this traditional circus setup of living in a wagon together with artists from around Europe and around the world. And I remember how exciting it was to come back to the class and to present them my experiences in this internship, which was a little bit different than the others. That's just me again, I'm sorry. In school, I also got to define myself sometimes. I was not looking Danish at all, and I reckoned how my parents was a huge help for me, how to define myself. And I always been standing up in the class saying to the people, I'm adopted from Bulgaria, and I'm proud of that. And there was no coming after that. I got a hint from a childhood friend to visit the capital city in Denmark, Copenhagen. There was a circus school, a contemporary, modern circus school where you could go and challenge yourself for 3 years. And I applied, and I got accepted. And I went through 3 years of, it was literally like blood. I was a trapeze balance in 8 meters height, swinging, doing acrobatic skills from a trapeze. And it was literally blood on my hand. It was sweat and tears, but I graduated after 3 years. And after that, I wanted to continue. I recognized how I actually wanted to make circus as a profession of living and of my life. So I went to Montreal, Canada, to take the audition. I passed, but I understood that they didn't select me. Probably because I'm not tall enough. I don't have long hair and very beautiful legs. And for this, they couldn't maybe see me in the scene of Las Vegas. I don't know. But I didn't get through there. So at this successful world champion was facing her down to her. And in this period of my life, I was struggling a little bit with the education system in Denmark that just wanted me to go in another way, not helping me in the education that I already had. In this time, I was giving workshops, and one of them was at the circus, social circus in Aarhus, Circus Artist. And the previous director, she told me that she had a project in Kenya, if I wanted to join this and operate this project. And I said yes directly, because this was like a light in the dark. So I went there with 3 of my friends from this region of Aarhus, and we went there to Kenya to operate a social circus program for children homes, slum areas, youth jails, and schools in general for 1.5 months. And this experience, it opened up something in me. It gave me another perspective. I saw how different we are living in this world under so different conditions, but still yet how happy and excited these kids were, how much more they had than I. And I understood from that project that I wanted to do something different with circus, not just to entertain. I am again here. So what is this social circus? Social circus is a tool where a physical tool where we use circus skills and pedagogical to connect people, to combine people together. I will just look down in my papers. So social circus is a physical tool where we are using circus skills and pedagogical tools to connect people. The social circus practice is breaking down barriers and building up bridges in between different social groups in a society. In September 2016, I decided to come back to Bulgaria. I came back to visit my born town, Yambol. And I was seeing the children's home where I spent the first 4 years of my life. I gave a show to the kids that was there. And after this experience that I took alone, I went to the coast to breathe. I went a little bit around in the country, and I saw a beautiful country. I saw the possibilities here in Bulgaria, and I met the right people. And I actually decided to stay in Sofia to work for the development of contemporary and social circus. At the beginning of 2017, I and Geo Kalev, we decided to create the foundation, Mini Art Foundation, with that main project and goal in mind to establish the first social circus for Sofia. In 2018, we presented our first project, Social Circus, in Nadezhda region in Sofia. It was conducting 8 weeks of circus practice with 3 different social centers. We created together with the participant a show that represented our yearly mini art festival. It was so amazing to see how these kids, they took the stage and they presented together with us this first pilot project. I saw the future of Sofia that day, I remember. I tell you how many children did not really get so much engagement and physical and even just contact in these centers before we came. The moment a person can be allowed to work with his own balance, they get the courage and they practice to dare to take the next step. Through our first project, we saw how they exceed their own limits. And when they exceed their own limits, something important happens, not just in the time there, but also in the time after. When you get the senses opened, you get a quality of life. It is not something we speak so much about in our everyday fast lives, but being together, having presence, it's so important. Then people develop, and as they evolve, it also gives them the potential to take a step further in their life. As an example, I saw how this blind guy that we were working with in our project, how he took his empowerment through learning how to juggle with a ball. It was very simple tricks, but when you are blind, it's something very different. And I tell you, today, this guy, he has a real job. On the 4th of April 2019, we started our second social circus project by name Social Circus for Hope. And this year we are including a public school together with 2 social centers to start building these bridges between these social groups in our society. Our work currently is mainly in Bulgaria, with huge network of friends and partners from Denmark, France, and other Balkan countries. Social circus in Denmark, it's a very popular offer for children and young people all over the country. In Denmark, there is more than 20 social circus clubs or organizations, and on which, like our partners, they have been existed for more than 30 years. We work day and night these days in the Mini Art Foundation, and we work towards reaching the establishment, the place for contemporary and social circus here in Sofia. The Mini Art Foundation has grown out from the Mini Art Festival, which Georg Kalev created back in 2011. We are aiming to reach enough donations to be able to invest in a circus tent where we can host all of our activities, social circus, unicycle sport, and of course our festival, Mini Art Festival. Being able to have a place for all children where there is a disabled child, a child without parents, or your child, it is important to have an open place where they can be challenged. The effect social circus has is something I have experienced myself. That's one great reason why I can stand here today. We know that these people have to go out in the world and to give something. Therefore, we continue very focused in the Mini Art Foundation with both festival and social circus for Sofia. Social circus is accessible to all. You don't really need to have any skills to take part or to fully engage. It works effectively with the poorest and the richest people, and it empowers it empowers them to learn, to play, to have joy, to join a group, share their skills, and to do things as a team across social boundaries. It feeds back positive energy into the community. Thank you for listening.